just destroyed Samsung. Or at least that's what some people are saying. This is the brand new Honor Magic V5, the thinnest foldable ever, which makes the fact it's rocking the biggest battery ever in a foldable somewhat pretty astonishing. There's some AI tricks that feel a little like you're just cheating science, and I've teamed up with Honor to go over some of the best new features of one of the world's best foldable phones. First off, what's the one problem a lot of foldable phones can have? That's right, foreign objects inside that inner screen. Then you close it, and before you know it, it's damaged before you even realise. But the Magic V5 has an AI-powered foreign object detection, so if something is detected within the inner screen, a notification will trigger on the outer screen, alerting you to prevent potential damage. How cool is that? As is this. Instant iPhone file sharing. Firstly, you'll want to download the Honor Connect app on your iPhone, and then once the app's open, you'll then head over to your Honor Magic V5, select your image or file you want to share, click share, and then your Honor Magic V5 will instantly pick up the iPhone. Simply tap the top end of your V5 on the top end of your iPhone, and voila, the magic occurs. Now before we get into some other really cool tips and tricks, let's talk design, because Honor clearly came out swinging. Firstly, it's absolutely stunning, but also the Honor Magic V5 is ridiculously thin. 8.8mm folded and just 4.1mm unfolded, and just 217 grams. That's lighter than an iPhone 16 Pro Max. The Z Fold 7, well, that is actually lighter at 215 grams and also incredibly thin, but it's 8.9mm. So what do you want? The lightest or the thinnest inside your pocket? Both incredible feats of engineering. Now both companies have obsessed over hinges. Samsung's devices have come a long way, but Honor's gone full Iron Man here, with a super steel hinge rated at 2,300 megapascals tensile strength. Now of course I had no idea what that meant, so I decided to use my lovely Magic V5 in combo with AI to check. And this is what it gave me. Firstly, it's a material science engineering measurement, and tensile strength is how much pulling, stretching force a material can withstand before it breaks. Imagine pulling on a rope until it snaps, the maximum force it can handle before boom. That's tensile strength. And megapascals, I believe it's how it's pronounced, well, they're the units of pressure or stress. Now for reference, mild steel is around 400 to 500, high strength carbon fiber anywhere between 3,000 and 6,000. So 2,300 megapascals is extremely strong, and stronger than a lot of steels and closer to those hardened alloys. Really impressive, and that's today's nerdy tech talk completed. You also have a carbon fiber reinforced inner screen and a new nanocrystal shield that's 3 times more scratch resistant. Oh, and it's IP58 and 59 rated, beating Samsung's IP48. So Honor's phone is slimmer, potentially tougher, and more water and dust resistant. Wow. Next, displays. 6.43-inch cover screen on the V5, 6.5 on the Fold 7, which also has an 8-inch inner display, 7.95 on the V5. Both are 120Hz LTPO and absolutely stunning, but if you're watching HDR content outdoors, Honor's gonna punch your eyeballs with brightness at a whopping 5,000 nits compared to Samsung's 2,600. And the crease lines? Well, you tell me, which one do you think handles it better? You also have 4,320Hz ultra high frequency flicker-free PWM dimming to eliminate screen flicker, and dynamic dimming, which apparently mimics natural sunlight patterns, reducing eye fatigue by up to 18%. Additionally, the Honor Eye Comfort display incorporates AI defocus display technology inspired by myopia control lenses. In layman's terms, the phone can somehow adjust on-screen content, projecting images slightly in front of your retina and significantly enhancing eye fatigue relief. I don't know. Don't ask, you'll have to contact somebody who is significantly more intelligent than I am for that one. And the display can also lower harmful blue light exposure by 5.6%. Okay, so this next part really shocked me. Foldables usually mean not necessarily terrible battery life, but certainly not really elite. But Honor said, nah, we're not doing this anymore. And they've crammed in an obscene 5,820 mAh silicon carbon battery. That's over 1,400 more than Samsung's at 4,400. And they look, well, basically the same size, so how? Some of that is down to the apparent 15% higher silicon content, which provides greater energy density. And when you add in 66 watt wired and 50 watt wireless charging versus Samsung's 25 watt and 15 watt, and Honor just really wipes the floor here. Samsung's numbers look a little bit ancient in comparison. Samsung's optimization is really good though. One UI squeezes efficiency, and the Fold 7 is perfectly fine for a day's use, but yeah, Honor's hardware advantage here is absolutely redonkulous. Cameras next, and this is where both companies usually flex, and honestly, for foldables, they still do. The Fold 7 is not quite the S25 Ultra with its 10 megapixel telephoto lens with 3x optical zoom and 12 megapixel ultra wide, but you do get that 200 megapixel main shooter. Samsung's post-processing is pretty consistent and color temperature fairly natural, but Honor's system is shockingly good too in certain areas. 50 megapixel wide and a 50 megapixel ultra wide and a 64 megapixel periscope telephoto with again 3x optical zoom. Plus you have AI super zoom that goes all the way up to 100x, much further than the 30x on the Fold. Is it crystal clear at 100x? Well, no, as a lot of that is digital zoom, but it's a nice additional option to have. And the fact these sensors on the telephoto and ultra wides have a higher megapixel count means they will let in more light and in theory offer greater details if you were to crop into an image afterwards. The same of course can be said for Samsung on that main lens, so swings and roundabouts here I guess. But as with all things in 2025, software and AI is at the heart of many of the significant upgrades, and that is on both camera and the phone as a whole. Honor's AI Falcon Engine brings the popular motion sensing capture, which can detect movement and help snap exact action moments with next to no blur, along with better portrait processing, AI cutout and AI eraser, and the ever impressive AI image to video, which still absolutely blows my mind. Take a single image and create an AI video of that moment in just a few clicks, and while it's not perfect, it usually creates a really realistic video clip. Honor's multi-flex mode lets you run up to 3 apps side by side at any one time for the ultimate multitasking, whether that be checking your emails or chat apps, joining video calls, checking sports scores all at once, and you can also adjust the size and the sequence of each app window. But the key thing here is that you can now use Google's Gemini Live with screen share to do things like compare product specs and reviews, or choose hotels for a trip you've planned in real time, or use it as a study assistant, for example. Like you could be reading a certain document or meeting minutes on the large screen, and you can drag and drop complex terms, phrases, or paragraphs directly into Gemini to request explanations or summaries. There's a really impressive AI call translation feature, which is real-time translation on a phone call between two people who are speaking in different languages. So if you are speaking to a colleague in another country and the language barrier is slightly difficult, you can fire that up and be able to understand each other much more clear. And you only need one of you to be using that on a device. We saw this at the recent Google event, and Samsung have done something similar too, but across all of them, I'm sure this is going to be a really handy feature. And also, by processing everything locally on the device, it ensures your privacy with no audio data sent externally. And speaking of privacy and security, Honor's Magic OS 9.0 platform also supports AI deepfake detection during video calls, and on top of that, you get the promised 7 years Android OS and security updates. That is in Europe, I'm not sure on other regions. And that, I believe, matches Samsung's current commitment too. So again, they are head to head here, neck and neck. But Samsung's trump card with the Fold 7 is business casual, as I like to call it, whereby with its hardware and ecosystem compatibility with other Samsung devices, it's a perfect worker's powerhouse, and the ability to use that DeX platform where you can connect your phone to a monitor, for example, and use it kind of in a desktop mode adds to that notion. But the Honor Magic V5 has something in this department that the Fold 7 confusingly now doesn't support: pen support. Fold 6 did. Fold 7 doesn't, and that did surprise me. Did I really use it? No. Was I waiting for it to be integrated into the phone? Yes. Would I have then used it? Yes. And now it seems like it's never going to happen. Would I still prefer the pen to be inbuilt into the V5 as well? Yes. So, yeah. Make of that what you wish. The pen does work on both the inside and outside display on the V5. Great for quick notes, doodles, or photo edits and things like signing contracts. So it is another feature for sure. And here is potentially another killer blow for Honor: price. Now, they usually in the past have undercut Samsung devices, and if the Magic V5 comes in at £100, £200 cheaper than the Z Fold 7, then that could be a bit brutal. Honor hasn't confirmed pricing yet, so bear with me on that one. I will add information in the video description below as and when I get it, but if they could be aggressive, Samsung could be in trouble. So has Honor just destroyed Samsung? Well, as a total package, when you compare them side by side, no, as they're both incredibly similar and both offer pros and cons, but in some areas, I'd say absolutely yes. The Magic V5 is thinner, has a brighter display, a much bigger battery, faster charging, is potentially more durable, and has some wild AI features that the Z Fold 7 doesn't. And again, you've got that pen support. So the Honor Magic V5 is a statement phone. But what about you? Would you go Samsung Z Fold 7 or would you go Honor Magic V5? Drop your thoughts below because I'm genuinely curious which way you would learn. Lean is the term I was... Which way would you learn between these two? Thanks for watching. Hit the like button if you are a fan of these two phones. Subscribe if you want to see all of the latest tech. My name's Adam. You've been the best as always. I love you and leave you. I'll see you in the next one. It says ASBYT. Peace out.